If you've been thinking about getting serious with your money, like actually serious, now's the time. The Motley Fool is offering new members 50% off their iconic stock recommendation service, Stock Advisor. This is the same service that's crushed the market with recommendations that have returned 1,057% since inception, compared to the S&P 500's 180% over that same period. This isn't guesswork. The Motley Fool has a track record of finding companies before they become household names. So if you want to invest smarter and you like saving money while doing it, go to fool.com/listen to claim your 50% off discount off a 1-year term of Stock Advisor. Again, that's fool.com/listen. Returns of 1,057% are from the Motley Fool's product Stock Advisor and measured against S&P 500 returns of 180% as of July 10th, 2025. Past performance is not an indicator of future results. All investing involves a risk of loss. Individual investment results may vary.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Maggie, if I've ever seen a film that is uniquely you, it is this film.
Dude, there's too many parallels with this goddamn movie in my life. I love it.
What's wild to me is there is the short film that,
yes,
Mike, you sent me that I watched. And the short film, it's crazy because it's essentially like the end of the movie in a lot of ways.
And a couple bits in between, yeah.
Right. So it's really funny to see this like small short being turned into how he made the short
movie. No, I know, I love it.
Yeah.
I initially learned about this movie through my dad, and you know how I link up two movies for whatever reason in my brain from whatever point in history. This one was Wizard, Speed, and Time, and he's also check out Wizards by Ralph Bakshi. So. I had Wizards and Wizard Speed and Time at the same point in my life.
Pretty far from one another in terms of what they're talking about.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Stylistically, yeah.
Really everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, my dad remembered the short from a couple theaters that he went to. They would play it as a bumper. So he told me about that when I was starting to like first get really into animation as a kid. And so this was like one of like the first big movies that really affected me in that aspect, where it was like, it's stop motion animation. It's a bunch of like old school TV effects that made the movie. But like that was the first kind of brain moment where it's like stop motion doesn't have to be an object. You can actually do that
with
physically.
People.
Yeah, and it's really cool what effects that you can get and kind of the joy of like having fun with that mess.
So this is the Kulturecast. I'm joined by my good friend, Mr. Mike White, and Maggie, who programmed the month, and we are talking about The Wizard of Speed and Time.
Before Superman, before Rambo, before Pee Wee Herman, there was the Wizard of Speed and Time. An eccentric genius who created a motion picture legend in his own garage. Based upon the true-life adventures of the world's most unknown filmmaker and blown up out of all proportion, this is the classic story of the little guy. going up against the system, fighting corrupt and evil movie producers, overcoming unbelievable and ridiculous odds, all to win the heart of the girl he loves, and maybe the rest of her as well. Made on the same film stock as Roger Rabbit and Star Wars. Filmed around the world in a special process that is technically unexplainable. You'll see electrifying special effects, laugh at mind-numbingly stupid jokes, and gasp in awe that we actually got big-name stars to be in this. You'll see dancing, romancing, financing, fencing, crowd scenes, chase scenes. This is the motion picture with everything. It's even got the kitchen sink. It's the kind of movie you would make if you didn't have anything better to do. 5 years in the making, 5 days in the theaters. So see it while you can and tell your friends. You've got to be off to see The Wizard. Speeding to a theater near you. Maybe even this one.
A film that, Mike, you had never seen.
Correct. I mean, I knew of this movie from forever ago. I think it was the original short, kind of burned up the indie movie magazines, especially the little like filmmaker magazines. How do you make titles that disappear and reappear with your Super 8 camera? How do you do forced perspective? Mike Jittlov was like a hero to so many nerds that had movie cameras.
And this movie is very much a love letter to making movies, what it takes to make movies, the creative process in a lot of ways, and also the hurdles that one must overcome, both, the industry and personal hurdles to make a movie, all wrapped into this weird little package.
Yes. Very weird.
The emphasis on weird. This was the first time I had seen it as well. I had not heard about it before, ever. So this was one of these things where Maggie was like, this is what we're talking about. And I was like, all right, never heard of it. Let's watch it. I would ask you, Maggie, why we're talking about it, but you've already given that answer.
Blam! Right out the gate.
So just starting with you, Mike, this was your first time as it was mine, what did you think watching the full film?
I would be very curious. Out of all of the frames of film that we see, I'm very curious how many frames don't have a special effect of some sort, right? Because it feels like he's usually using effects throughout the entire thing. Like, it feels like every frame is lovingly crafted. There are even just little moments where it's like a little blip, or like his glasses usually have an effect that goes across them, or he'll smile and give a little gleam of his teeth, and that just happens throughout the entire film. And there's certain things where I'm like, is this sped up? Like, it doesn't seem like normal motion. It just always feels like there's some sort of manipulation happening almost the entire time. It was kind of a feast for the senses. And if anything, I felt a little bombarded towards the end, especially with the audio. It just feels like the audio is layer upon layer upon layer. It kind of reminded me of almost like a Popeye or something, where you've got voices and sound effects and things just happening all the time. Popeye was always famous for like speaking under his breath. And it feels like this whole movie speaks under its breath, even when it's not giving you like the main dialogue. It feels like there's always something going on. It just feels like it's jam-packed to the gills with all of this stuff. So I was a little overwhelmed seeing it, but I think I kind of enjoyed it.
It's a riot. It really is. It's not quite Beekman's World level of effects or sound, but it is dangerously close.
That's a really good comparison. And this would have been just a few years prior to Beekman's World, so I can really see that as well. Yeah.
So I had never seen it either, and I think to your point, Mike, for me, there's kind of two parts to this movie. There's the movie-making part, and essentially where Mike Jittlov is playing himself. And he is really just playing himself. And you see kind of the trials and tribulations and the relationships that he builds in making this film. And then you come to the film at the end, which is its own probably took as long to film as anything else did. That like 2 minutes of footage or whatever the hell it is. It is, like you said, Mike, it is at times overwhelming. It is at times beyond technically impressive as well. I mean, you know, take the plot out of this movie and it is still, like you said, there's so much stuff going on at all times. It's hard not to find something to look at, even if you're not engaged with the movie on like a story level. There's always something going on. But I think similarly to yourself, I enjoyed it. I do think it's probably one of those films that I need to rewatch because there's a lot going on. A lot.
And it's interesting because Mike Jittlov, essentially, this is his story. In fact, all of those cuts where they're watching footage, that is his actual.
If you've been thinking about getting serious with your money, like actually serious, now's the time. The Motley Fool is offering new members 50% off their iconic stock recommendation service, Stock Advisor. This is the same service that's crushed the market with recommendations that have returned 1,057% since inception, compared to the S&P 500's 180% over that same period. This isn't guesswork. The Motley Fool has a track record of finding companies before they become household names. So if you want to invest smarter and you like saving money while doing it, go to fool.com/listen to claim your 50% off discount off a 1-year term of Stock Advisor. Again, that's fool.com/listen. Returns of 1,057% are from the Motley Fool's product Stock Advisor and measured against S&P 500 returns of 180% as of July 10th, 2025. Past performance is not an indicator of future results. All investing involves a risk of loss. Individual investment results may vary.
Hello and welcome to Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys. My name is Hunter. In this podcast, I'll be joined by a different guest each week to discuss a classic Western movie or TV show. I've been a fan of classic Westerns for as long as I can remember, and in recent years, they've become very nostalgic for me. I love the aesthetic, the tropes, and I love seeing different filmmakers' takes on them. At their best, they're incredibly entertaining, rewatchable, and some of my all-time favorite movies are Westerns. We'll mostly focus on Western movies made in Hollywood, but we'll also be covering spaghetti Westerns, and one thing I'm very excited to get into are Western TV shows. I've got some amazing guests coming on the show, film professors, historians, and podcasters. And Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys is part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, and many guests on the show will be from other shows on the network. Thanks for listening.
Actual demo reel that he would shop out to people. Like, you can watch it free on YouTube, and I've seen it a billion times. And even in the demo reel, he's talking about how his like big dream is to make a full-length film where the effects aren't just the icing on the cake. That quote was very much from an interview that he had. And so it's just fascinating to see all of it being cobbled together and kind of lovingly expanded upon. It is a lot, I will say, but that's almost his style. And it's amazing going from watching his demo reel in its entirety and then watching this film with that in context. And it's just, it hits a bit too close to home for me, but that's why I love it so much. That's why I always go back to it. If I'm feeling in a complete artistic rut, I'll just watch that movie and be like, yeah, no, it's just a rut.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you watch something like this and you truly realize the amount of love that it takes to make a film. And especially something like this. Because this is just... To even think about 1 or 2 moments in this film is to realize how much work went into everything. Like you said, Mike, it's every frame. Every single one. There's something going on. So the film opens with the character, I guess he's just playing Mike Jittlov. We'll just call him Mike Jittlov, the man in the green jacket. And he is shopping his demo reel around in Hollywood trying to get a film made. And they say, all right, go make a film. And then we'll put every single stumbling block in your way. We're not going to give you a set. We're not going to give you lights. We're not going to give you actors. We're not going to give you anything. But we'll pay for it. Maybe. After the fact.
Right. And this is where my life comes in, where it's like, wow, this is familiar as hell.
Yeah, I as someone who now works in the industry, working on spec he's doing is even worse. It's not even working on spec. It's like working on prayer that someone is going to pay you back. And so the entire film, from essentially the first 10 minutes in, is us seeing the behind the scenes of what he's working on. And then we eventually see the film at the end, the Wizard of Speed and Time. But yeah, there's a lot just really compressed into an hour and a half. This movie flies by.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I was very surprised at it being a 1988 film. The original short was 1979, and it felt like this movie was from, let's say, 82, 81, maybe. And seeing like, oh God, why am I blinking on the guy from Miami Vice?
Philip Michael Thomas.
And I was like, okay. And they specifically, you can hear on the soundtrack, like I was talking about how they have all those layers. You can hear people say like, is that the guy from Miami? And what about blah, blah, blah? And there's a few times where people are making comments and I'm like, okay, well, if they had made this before he was on Miami Vice, that would make sense. Or, what's the guy's name from Airplane? Steven Stucker. When he shows up, I'm just like, oh, well, this must have been before Airplane. But no, I imagine that this took a lot of years to put together. And so maybe they even shot that stuff before those guys were who they were. Not that Steven Stucker ever became a household name, but as soon as I saw him, I was just like, what do you make of this, Johnny? Well, I can make a hat or a brooch or pterodactyl. I'm like, his voice is so distinct and his hairline. I was like, oh, okay. Yep. So it feels like, this must have been a labor of love, and it probably took a decade to put together. I would love to know the behind the scenes of this movie.
Right, a sequel.
6 years.
Yeah, 6 years. Okay.
6 years is how long it took for this to be filmed. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because all of those are analog effects, which is just wild to watch it and be able to know these effects and like how he would have broken it down. Like some of my favorite effects that Mike Jittlov does are with paper collage. And having done a lot of paper animation, it is just insane and immaculate when he can seamlessly blend that for any of the pan bys for the locations, the whirls on the windmills, everything like that. It's just wild to think about. And it was probably like him and maybe a handful of other people that were at it. So
if that maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Been there.
Yeah. Well, and that is the thing about this movie that I do appreciate is oftentimes you have these films that are, it's like it's your vanity project, or it's a thing you've wanted to work on your entire life. And like, how many of those projects end up being good? How many of them end up having as much heart as something as this does? Mike Jittlov hasn't done much in the way of other like feature films. He hasn't made any other feature films.
I wonder why.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably when he was done with this, like, I'm done. I don't want any more. Like,
right.
I'll stick to short form, guys. Like,
oh, man.
And I don't blame him because, man, like, it's like the movie we watched earlier this year, Maggie, Redline, where it's, how many frames per second was it?
Oh, God. Oh, man. I think
30 or something?
Yeah, because they either doubled the amount or close to it. It isn't half as bad as the movie yet to come, Thief and the Cobbler. Which
Did, where it just doesn't exist at all.
It exists. It's unfinished, but it exists. That was
right.
It's like these are like my reassurance movies. It's like it's okay not to finish something, Maggie. If you just tried, it's fine.
It's fair.
But this is definitely I love doing this stuff. I love making movies. It's always been in my family. Like even we have stuff from my great grandfather where he would take notes meticulously about doing title frames and like being to compose a scene on like a 35 millimeter camera. So it's definitely one of those things where it's like, yeah, of course my dad wanted me to watch this. And of course I keep watching this well into my like early 30s. So it's like, yeah, I love this just because it's a reminder. One of my favorite scenes in this movie that still sticks in my mind is the, oh gosh, what a wonderful day for the creative spirit. That monologue alone, it hits me like a ton of bricks. The fact that it's like, I should have done so many of these big things by now, but I was busy doing little things and like thinking about all the scripts that people have been like developing and it never goes anywhere. And it's like, that's
many of us.
Bingo.
Many of us have started and stopped a creative endeavor and never picked it back up.
Hundreds of times.
Yeah. I don't have a physical cabinet full of scripts any more than many of us do. It's all on our computers anymore, but we all have a folder somewhere of good ideas sitting in a folder waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, what I find interesting about this movie, and it's, similar to a lot of other stop motion stuff, is like what Maggie said, it's that it's taking stop motion and it's not doing it in the usual way, similar to, I forget the name of the director, but the Alice in Wonderland cartoon.
Oh, the Jan Svankmajer?
Svankmajer.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of this in here too, where it's like, I don't want to just do stop motion.
Right.
I want to do something that people will look at it and be like, if you did it by stop motion, you spent thousands of hours doing it. So I hope you did it some other way, because otherwise, holy shit.
Yeah. You either have to have a damn good reason and a good script and story, or it better be something completely different. Because, I have done a couple stop motions where it's like, this was pointless. This was utterly pointless. And it turned out like garbage. So there goes a week and a half of my life I'll never get back.
But yeah. My friend Skiz does a lot of stop motion animation. I'm just like, how the hell are you in? Like, just amazing stuff. He did a music video where he had T-shirts printed up, and he had the singer of the song, and I think there were two guys, but he had like basically the mouths on the shirts were doing the singing while the singer was not moving at all. So it was just all of these wardrobe changes over and over and over again to make the mouth move, because there was no faking that. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's wild.
It reminds me of Angry Kid. It's Nick Park's Studios. I don't know if Nick Park's...
If you've been thinking about getting serious with your money, like actually serious, now's the time. The Motley Fool is offering new members 50% off their iconic stock recommendation service, Stock Advisor. This is the same service that's crushed the market with recommendations that have returned 1,057% since inception, compared to the S&P 500's 180% over that same period. This isn't guesswork. The Motley Fool has a track record of finding companies before they become household names. So if you want to invest smarter and you like saving money while doing it, go to fool.com/listen to claim your 50% off discount off a 1-year term of Stock Advisor. Again, that's fool.com/listen. Returns of 1,057% are from the Motley Fool's product Stock Advisor and measured against S&P 500 returns of 180% as of July 10th, 2025. Past performance is not an indicator of future results. All investing involves a risk of loss. Individual investment results may vary.
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and I, we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Deaf Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of Someone's Favorite Production Podcast Network. We hope to see you online.
Specifically had a role in this, but it's called Angry Kid, and what they do is they use a live actor and they have trade out masks. So it looks like an absolute, it's nightmare fuel, but I love it.
Well, that's the thing about stop motion is stop motion does have that kind of I wouldn't say uncanny characteristic, but there is, like you said, Mike, there's these parts of the movie where it's like, they're speeding it up. What is going on here? Because it doesn't feel like reality. It feels a little altered. And I do like that, because again, it gives this kind of a whimsical, non-reality quality to the film. Yeah. Watching it on YouTube, lower quality. It's never been on DVD. There's just like that. There's the 80s look to this movie that is further reinforced by the effects. The effects don't even, like you said, Mike, this movie, 88 is not the year I would have thought this movie was made.
Right.
The effects aren't, these are in-camera tricks, right? Like, this is all in-camera stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Camera, post, going meticulously frame by frame to make sure that exact right amount of light is going through, the exact color you need it to be is going through, all of that.
Right. It's not like he did a couple things and then cleaned it up digitally. That didn't exist. So
right. It's no post, it's all planned.
Right. I mean, maybe some optical printer type stuff, but yeah, I mean, if he could afford an optical printer or, taking that to a lab and having it done there, good luck.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it kind of reminds me, and randomly was just thinking about this, thinking of like movies around the time that were utilizing in-camera effects more than anything else. Bram Stoker's Dracula is another movie that used, like, I when I was watching this, I kept thinking, like, I was watching some videos recently about how good the in-camera effects for Bram Stoker's was. And they were like, it's really impressive. It's a big budget movie. Coppola is going out of his way to do all, because it's Coppola, right? I'm just making sure. I always get it confused.
Oh, yeah.
The Kenneth Branagh Frankenstein movie.
Right.
And they're like, all these in-camera tricks are so great, and it's so impressive. And then I watched this movie, and I'm like, he doesn't have the budget that movie does.
Oh, no.
No.
No. This was made on a shoestring, it looks like.
If that. Yeah. I don't know. This is, we've run into these movies a couple times on this show where I almost feel like you need to watch this before you listen to us talk about it, because it does the film a disservice by not being able to understand how there's so much to talk about almost that we're gonna miss stuff, obviously. But there's just so much stuff in this movie. Yeah. That is just like Maggie said, the effects towards the end with all of like the moving paper effects. Just a lot of like the effect that stands out to me if I'm sitting here thinking about it, the puzzle effect.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Catalog, right. It just reassembles itself.
Yeah.
But it doesn't just reassemble itself. It like spreads out, comes back in, spreads out, and in coming back in on the last time, it puts itself together. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, fuck that. That probably took like 6 months.
While Jittlov was standing over it. So he also had to remain. There's so many good examples, but like for stop motion, I always tell people it's the slowest magic trick. Mm-hmm. When they had the producer and director stop by Mike's house in the movie to like watch what they had and then be like, all right, let's see how it's made. And then everybody's like, what the fuck is going on? And it's like, what? This was it. And it's like one frame, click, meticulously shuffling each and every part. I have been in that situation with a client. We were doing stop motion bits for just like whatever packaging ad, whatever. And so I was animating like meat products, which was absolute fun, but it was definitely the like slosh and swirl stuff that you saw with the puzzle, just beef. I guess it was some burrito mix,
but beef.
But beef. It's like a puzzle, but beef.
Right.
Imagine. But for the first like hour and a half, it's just me squishing meat around in a bowl. It was ridiculous. The client was sitting there. Everybody was sitting there, dead silence other than like them surfing on their phones. And then they finally like, oh, well, let's see what you got. And then everybody was like, oh, wow. Because, you just sat for an hour and you saw like half a second worth of product, but there you go. But it always wins over. There's something distinctly charming about that.
I think part of it is because you know how long. I don't think anybody doesn't understand how long it takes to make stop motion.
Oh yeah.
I just don't think people realize what it really is at its core. It's just a bunch of pictures. I mean, movies are just a bunch of pictures strung together too, but actors controlling their own bodies is one thing. Controlling the little maquette and making his hand move up and touch something is just...
Well, and that's another thing that I really appreciate about Jittlov's form of stop motion is because if you haven't like tried to hold a pose for hours on end, slowly moving it forward, that's a trial and a half. I had to do that for like the latter half of the cat because I made a puppet that was too goddamn heavy to hold itself up. So I actually had to just like be in the background holding a giant puppet for at least 2 hours because Tony was there. Otherwise, I would have been done by take 3. But he's like, I think we could do better. And I'm like, I'll kill you. I will reach past this puppet and kill you. But another example of that is The Secret Adventures of Tom Thumb, which you can also watch free on YouTube. But
that's a great one.
I love that. I found it at Thrift one time, and it was a stolen library copy because, of course, it was at Thrift.
Right.
But that one is entirely stop motion with people. There are only very few segments where it's just puppet animation.
Right.
And it's just the extreme dedication, the fact that they did like group settings with it, but it gives such an amazing, unnerving effect and really created a distinct world because of it. And I think that's to Jitlov's, advantage, especially the wall running scene. I love the wall running scene.
Oh my God, the wall running scene is fantastic.
Yeah. Boy, and if you want to really infuriate yourself, try and replicate it. Because I did, and I hated that.
I mean, those animations where people will jump up and then and jump however many hundreds of thousands of times to make it look like they're just floating in air as they move around. I mean, those things of like Jittlov just like scooting along and then going upstairs and moving this way, moving that way. It's like a musical number without the music, and then come back down and spin around and move this way and that way. I'm just like, holy shit, how long did it take you to do that?
Can't even, I can't fathom so much of what happens in this movie from like a technical standpoint. It's mind-blowing.
It is.
Especially when he was doing it in film. So it's like when you have to edit that, you have to meticulously go through which jumps did it.
Right. Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, trying to get that timing with, either your buddy over there who's using the thing, or if you've got that, if you can have a remote in your hand. But I mean, so much of that stuff was actual mechanical stuff.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah. That's the thing. When I'm thinking about this movie, I can't tell what's more impressive. That it's almost like, probably 50% stop motion, or at least features a ton of stop motion effects. That it's all done by like one guy, or the fact that this guy did it over 6 years.
Yeah.
I don't know what's more impressive, but it reminds me a lot also of like One Cut of the Dead, Maggie.
Exactly.
And that it's
timely,
like,
I thought.
Right. It's like, people don't, and we talked about it then, I'll bring it up again. I don't think people truly understand how much effort and people it takes to make a movie. Quality notwithstanding. That's the sad thing about movies not being good, is like tons of people worked on it and they're just like, paycheck.
You gotta love it. You can't just have it for whatever reason of like profit or fame. It's like, if you're not invested in this, it's going to be a real long journey for everybody.
Yeah, if you're not doing this for the love of making something, don't do it.
Yeah.
And then you have Mike Jittlov spending 6 years on a movie that has its fans, but this movie didn't burn down the theaters at the time.
Nope.
Or burn up the theaters.
Right.
It's not even burning up the...
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface-level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind-the-scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, and let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.
Theaters now, it's on YouTube. That's like the only place you can find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is a shame because, it is I think it's a very influential movie. Like I said, a lot of people knew about this and a lot of people wrote about it. This was like, Famous Monsters of Filmland type thing, cult movies, etc. A lot of people doing even cover stories on it. But yeah, it's not like, it's not like at the Oscars the next year, people were hoisting him up on their shoulders and just like, hey, Mike Jittlov, you're our savior. It's
right.
It's the filmmakers know this guy and respect his work. But yeah, to talk to an average film fan, they'll be like, who? What were you talking about?
Yeah. And it's unfortunate. Like this, again, we've kind of talked about it a fair amount of times this year. Like this would be a perfect release for like Kino or Shout Factory or somebody. Because like this, they release a lot of influential stuff, but like I don't think they've released stuff like this before, where it's like a very all about the technicality of the film. Almost everything else in the film is unimportant. I'm not trying to downplay the performances or anything, but like you're here for one thing. You're here for this like extravaganza of like crazy effects. Mike Jittlov is charismatic as fuck. Like let's just get that out of the way too. I'm not going to take away from his performance. There's not a lot of other great performances in the film, but it's also because it's like just his pals. For the most part. Like, it's just his buddies, so...
And they had fun enough with it, where it's like, it's totally just fun to watch because you know that they're having fun.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, it feels very much like a bunch of friends getting together and working on stuff, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's freaking genuine as hell. I love it.
It kind of reminds me of like Hardware Wars or
Oh my God,
Superb Man, just like those group of friends making a movie together. And this, though, is like, holy shit, you made a feature film. Like those other ones are all shorts, but you come to this and you're like, oh my God, this is a whole feature that you made.
Hardware Wars. I haven't heard that one in a long time. Augie, wasn't Obi-Wan Kenobi
Augie Ben Doggy? Yep.
Augie Ben Doggy. Yeah, Augie Ben Doggy. That's right. I remember, where I would have found this movie, like in the late 90s at like a sci-fi con.
Oh, yeah.
Someone would have had this like at their table on VHS next to the Star Wars Christmas special.
100%. Yeah.
Or next to copies of Hardware Wars, which also I don't think maybe got a real release, like a official release, maybe.
I think it finally did, yeah. And I know, well, for sure, it had an official VHS release. It was like that, Bambi Meets Godzilla. I think Closet Cases of the Nerd Kind and Porklips Now. And then when
What now?
Yeah,
Porklips Now?
You heard that.
Porklips Now. It's so good. It is so good. And then when the restored versions of Star Wars came out, the fucked up versions of special editions, when those came out, Ernie Facilius released a restored version of Hardware Wars, and unfortunately he changed the effects. That was the joke, was like, oh, now we're doing it with updated effects, and it's like, no, don't do that.
We don't think it's funny that George Lucas is doing it. You don't understand. Like, it's not funny.
There's something very quaint about irons flying through space and mixers and these kind of things. So it's like, don't mess with that, Leave perfection alone. Just the same thing I would say to Lucas is what I'm saying to Facilius.
Whoa. You're talking to George directly?
Oh, well, yeah, right now.
Yeah. Listen up, George.
I know he listens to this show, Chris.
All right. So. I do get emails from someone whose handle is Wampa1, so it could be George. Chick magnet handle Wampa1.
Touch my Wookiee 69.
Yeah, right? God. I mean, when I think about a movie like Wizard of Speed and Time, I do think about things like Star Wars, though, where...
Had some great practical effects.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you are solving problems. Jittlov is seeing problems and solving problems. And that's what the movie at its core is him being thrown. You talked about all the obstacles that these, scrupulous producers are throwing at him. And he's meeting and exceeding every single one. And it's like, perfect. Thank you.
These Hollywood types.
Right.
Yeah. All about trying to make money off of this guy.
Creativity be damned. It's all about the bottom line.
Exactly.
Until the man throws himself into the pool to kill himself at the end of the film.
Forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
What the fuck? Oh.
Yes.
Because it's like an uninterrupted shot, too. They just leave the camera there.
That's an effect.
Is it an effect?
Yeah, sir. That was a long scene, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what effect did they do?
They did double exposure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
I thought he only held his breath.
When they threw in the ladder, when they threw on the rope, it was brilliant. It was great masking all around. But man, gotta love that shit.
He got me then. That was a hell of an effect. That is a hell of an effect.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is you could take the last 2 minutes of this movie and watch it on its own and be like, that's a hell of an effect. And then you'd be like, hey, but there's like 93 other minutes to this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like all like that too, for the most part. Like, God.
Check it out. Oh, yeah. His independent work was wild. He worked for Disney for a bit. He did a couple shorts. And if you want to see pure insanity, he has a short where it's a guy that has an obsession with Mickey. And all of his stuff is Mickey Mouse. And when I say all of it, I mean, like, think of the hardcore collector in a suburban area where all the walls, all the floors are covered. Now imagine if all of that were moving.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All of it. All of it. All the time. For like 3 minutes.
And I like how he pays homage to that with that silver Mickey head that he's got.
Yeah,
and
that was totally a prop from that.
Yeah, to your point from earlier, that he uses his own stuff as, like, I don't want to say filler for the movie, but he uses it to be like, oh, well, here's this thing and here's this thing.
Exactly.
And he weaves it in so seamlessly, and it's nice. Obviously it's the same dude. So, and he uses himself in everything. Like he says, he's the cheapest actor that he knows. So it's very clever the way that he does that.
You know what else this reminded me of? I'm thinking of movies that, like, when I was watching this, it reminded me of UHF as well.
Exactly.
I can see that.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, like these, like, it's like a passion project thing, but also it has this like UHF has a very specific sense of humor. Weird Al's sense of humor.
Yeah.
This movie has I've never met Mike Jittlov, but I've watched videos and read enough to know this is clearly his story. Yeah. Mike Jitlov's sense of humor, his sense of style, his sensibilities. And, it's interesting because I think about UHF and what that movie's story is and kind of the message, and it's a similar message. It's that, like, stay true to yourself, don't let other people hold you back from your creativity and your purpose, and it also has a charismatic lead, and it has, I would say UHF has a fair amount of practical effects for what kind of movie it is.
Oh, yeah.
More sight gags, but they kind of go hand in hand.
Bingo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I love UHF too. I'm not going to do an episode on it.
Fun.
Mike's already done the episode. The really good episode. That's a long time ago episode too. It's like
it was
2015 or something, 2016.
I was really trying for Weird Al for that, man. Oh,
I know.
God.
Hey, you might be able to get him now. I mean, Mike White's cred in the world is substantially higher now. Willem Dafoe, Jeff Goldblum in the same year. Don't give me that. Jeff Goldblum responds to your emails directly, sir. Now it's
Weird Al might not call you back.
Come on. You could drop a line to Weird Al. He might get back to you now.
You never know.
You never know.
I'd be distinctly jealous.
Mike Jittlov, huh? What do you think he's up to right now?
I mean, he's got that incredible website. Have you been to that lately?
Yeah, his website's great.
Dude.
Yeah, and I love too that. Oh, I love that you can go in there, and if you just like remove index.html, you can just start looking at all of the stuff that makes the website. It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those. I love it.
I think my other favorite thing about the film is if you do a little research, you find out that, like we've mentioned, there is no DVD release, but there is a VHS and a Laserdisc. But there is a torrentable version of this film that comes approved by Mike Jittlov himself.
Nice.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I love this son of a bitch.
That's pretty rock and roll. Like,
left himself in the public domain. That's the best fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he's not going to, who will? Again, I don't know why more people don't know about this movie.
Yeah.
I know. Wow.
Well, hey, that's why you're doing a podcast about it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
People.
I do really feel like this movie would be probably more well known. But here's the thing. I mean, when you think about the time that it came out, I guess the time that it came out was just a little too late.
It's hard to say,
like, that's the thing. Like, I think of 88 and I think of practical effects. Like 82 to like 94 is like peak practical effect time in Hollywood. So, and this is like slam in the middle of that.
And we're still trading tapes at that point. I mean, this was available on a lot of like gray market sites and just people saying like, oh, you got to check this thing out.
Well, and like I mentioned, I mean, I'm sure I would have seen it at a sci-fi convention,
right.
A bootlegger VHS. I mean, I have a bootleg VHS of the Star Wars Holiday Special. I mean, that was, that used to be a thing. Yeah, that's pretty sure my Hardware Wars VHS is probably a bootleg VHS or DVD from a sci-fi con. I mean, there was always that table there that had like 100+ DVDs of things that were, never got released, maybe got released and forgotten. Yeah, it's this
Superstar, the Karen Carpenter story right there.
Right.
Yep.
This movie doesn't deserve to be relegated to that area, like you said, the gray area, because like the fact that there is no official release hurts this film's visibility. I mean, it does. There's, I think people, if they got an opportunity to see this in 2021, I think people would be astounded, frankly. Like, even people that don't know what you know, Maggie, or what the three of us know about making films or stop motion. Like, it's still a fun movie. I think it probably trends a little bit just by the look and feel. Like, it could be kind of like Disney adjacent, and I think it almost is very like, it has the Disney film sensibility to it a little bit, right?
I can see that.
Sense of humor.
Yeah.
There's definitely some jokes that like push the envelope where it's like, that came out of fucking nowhere. But aside for that, it's just a happy-go-lucky fucking film.
Yeah. But man, that scene at the end is just something else entirely, where he's running and you have the high-speed shot on the freeways and stuff, or him riding on the suitcase.
Oh God, yeah.
My God.
Yeah. That chase scene, it's ridiculous.
My Lord. It's just, you just sit there and think to yourself, like, I wouldn't want to do this now.
Right.
I really wouldn't want to do it in 83 with real film cameras that, require, actual physical editing and cutting and splicing. And oh no, like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, just imagine if you happen to have a hair on the lens or, anything. It's like you are fucked.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah. But that is the risk you run with these kind of, I wouldn't say novelty films, but it's like One Cut of the Dead, right? That film is one take.
Yep.
That in and of itself is kind of a gimmick. They work the gimmick into the movie wisely, like they do with this film. They work the stop motion gimmick into the movie. They don't explain a lot of stuff in this movie. Like, Mike Jittlov just has magic powers, is what we're led to believe. So
yeah, he's just magic. He's an effects guy.
Yeah.
But when it comes to movies that are one cut or one take, those are almost always digitally stitched together. 1918 was, I don't know how many months of shooting to get that together. Right. Birdman, all those things. And you can see where the cuts are with that stuff. But yeah, with this, it's like, if you screw up a frame, you're going to see it.
Yeah. And when you're making it, if you screw up a frame, you got to go back and fix it. Or you don't even have that opportunity. You probably have to make sure you have enough so that you don't have to get to that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Depends on the effect. It really does.
Just
especially
thinking
if you
about
only have location for X amount of time, or a person for X amount of time. It's just
like the alleyway where he's doing his wall running effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hollywood jumping wall.
Yeah.
I love it. The dumb humor always gets me. I still laugh every time that damn pizza comes out and they're like, oh my God, and holy mackerel.
Oh God, yes. The puns.
I hate that I laugh at it every time.
Infernal revenue service.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is corny as hell, but it just revels in the corniness.
Oh man, it leans hard into it. That's its identity. It's amazing. Between that and she's like, "Oh, I was your cheerleader. I gave you the clap," and everybody's like,
"Yeah." I can see why your dad recommended this, because this is like a dad joke farm.
Yeah, dad joke the movie. But that's what's so fun about it, right? That's what makes it so much fun. Is like you know that its heart is really in the right place. Like
charming as hell.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it does have that like you mentioned, Maggie, the Beekman thing. It does have a little bit of like Mr. Wizard, Saturday morning science stuff where it's like, I'm also gonna kind of show you how we do this. I'll pull back the curtain just enough. Yeah, but like I don't want to show you everything because then everybody else would be doing it. Guess what? No, they wouldn't. Most people aren't crazy enough to do this. Like,
yeah. Anytime I hear the Casio music kick, which I still am kicking myself, there was a Kickstarter. It might still be up. I'll have to check. But they actually put the soundtrack on a vinyl that they printed out.
Oh, yeah.
I lost my shit. I wish I had money at that time. But very much like Mike Jittlov, I definitely sold my property to pay property taxes. So, whoops.
And I also, we talk about the kind of the inspirations that this film would end up having on other films. I mean, you just have to look at the Chiodo brothers, stuff like that. I mean, it's all here. I'm not saying that this is the most influential film of all time, but there's a lot going on here that a lot of other people probably really benefit from people not knowing that it comes from this movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a lot of effects that people aped or straight up ripped off that are Mike Jittlov, but it's my thing now.
That's 50-50.
Yeah.
The dude wouldn't even sue him. He'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a great effect. And then be in the crowd. Be like, they're making a lot of money. That's great for them.
Yeah.
Wheels away, just gone.
Well, apparently he still is hanging out at the sci-fi conventions and...
Good for him.
Yeah.
I should take up a stalking hobby then.
I mean, here's the thing. So I didn't reach out to him for this episode, but
you could.
I'm going to now.
Okay.
So, yeah, I know Maggie's sitting over there like melting.
Yeah.
There's so much that, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I've taken now, when doing this show, to think about it more like, think about how important this is to a lot of stuff. And I do want to know, like, I want to ask him, like, Mike, why, like, what else do you think was inspired by this? And, like, who has told you that they were inspired by you? Because, you know, like you said, Mike, people had to have been like,
oh, yeah.
Like, secret handshake type thing.
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the 3 hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, you know, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There are films like that in Hollywood. There are plenty of them.
Well, and loads of his shorts, they have such an astonishing like world quality, like world building. Like he did a time machine short that I wish was a movie. I just wish it was. All of the props were amazing. And then like it pans out to a whole entire like pantheon of like universe elders. And it's like, I want to know what happens after that though. Right. Same with like all of his collage stuff. It's just incredibly wonderful world where this magic is not explained. It just kind of happens. There's also the dance sequence with the clothes. That entire short is so gosh darn charming. It's just a night guardman that ends up dancing with some clothes that became sentient in a shop. And then that's it. That's all you need. It's such a wonderful, hope-filled scope. And I love that.
Well, it's Mike Jitlov's stuff. From all the shorts and, you know, stuff that I saw prepping for this episode, there's like that sense of whimsy. Like you said, Mike, it is very kind of not dad joke-ish, but like that same level of like dad jokes are about like nostalgia and whimsy and like kind of pandering to the feel-good quality. And like that, this movie has that feel-good quality. Those shorts have that feel-good quality.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's a malicious bone in this movie's body, even when it's talking about, you know, these guys that are trying to fuck him over. It's like, oh, yeah, good will overcome evil. Don't worry about it.
And the bad guys really aren't even that bad.
No.
They're less bad guys than even the bad guys are in, like, UHF. Like, they're even less than Kevin McCarthy is in that movie. They're, like, scheming, but, like, they're not, there is no, you know they're not going to succeed. It's pretty clear from the jump.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I like that their lives are garbage as well, especially when they've got all of those movie titles. And I do love some of those that are just outrageous on that big board. And you see it just like they've crossed out all of these, like we can't get clips from any of these movies, even, you know, the swamp creature with 2 brains, you know, just like, nope, can't get anything here. So Jittlov essentially becomes their savior.
Right. Yep. And man, the title of this film too, just a great title, just a great name.
A great little song too.
Oh yes,
it's stuck in your head.
Yes,
fucking
I still have
earworm.
Oh, I have it memorized for sure.
Yeah,
it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I know this is an audio medium, but Chris, do you have a good Mike Jittlov face that you can do?
I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Just like,
yeah. So good.
I need that green cape.
That's the best eyebrows for it.
Oh, his eyebrows are amazing.
Me and him go to the same eyebrow guy because he can move his eyebrows like crazy.
Yeah.
The picture of him on Wikipedia is from the 90s with his green jacket on. Doing.
Yep. Oh yeah.
He must be. I wonder what he's like in person. I hope he's like.
Oh, I would think he's a barrel of laughs, but that's just me maybe projecting my hopes and dreams on him.
Yeah. I hope he's a hugger.
I want the industry to have been more people like him, because the industry would have, I think, been better off if more people were just like, I like making movies for the sake of making films. It's my passion. I don't care about the money. I'm here to make movies.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of people. Yeah. I'm not discounting them. There are plenty of them. I already mentioned Francis Ford Coppola. He's one of them. So is Kenneth Branagh. But there are also plenty of people that you see their characters in this movie, and that's the other thing about this movie that I do appreciate, is it's rather timeless. Like, these are still issues that persist, not just in the entertainment industry, frankly, but the entertainment industry is uniquely qualified to have these kinds of problems. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially the union work bit, like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You gotta start over. Your seniority is lost. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah. As soon as you look up the requirements for joining even one, it's like, oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's amazing that anybody is in the union. It's like every person I've talked to, and I've talked to a couple folks over the years where they were getting into the union. It's like, well, I had a friend who made a call and they basically forced it on the union, because if you follow the rules are, they're just the definition of a catch-22. You know, to get into the directors union, you have to direct blah, 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 but you can't direct those unless you're in the union. You know, and you made an independent film. Well, that doesn't count because you weren't in the union. It's like, okay.
How do you build credit without a credit card?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what it reminded me of. Like, the first time I tried to get a credit card, they were like, you don't have credit yet. It's like,
that's why I'm applying.
Yes. Yeah. Like, yeah, I would like some of that credit you have, please. It's that same thing. Yeah, you feel the world stacked against him. And even though people have cellular phones now, you know, with our cellular phones, with our smartphones, and everybody has a camera on them now, cameras that are better than the one he was using. You can do some effects in your phone even. It's still not easy. Everybody says, like, everybody can make a movie, like,
right.
Like, sure.
Then why isn't everybody making a feature film?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Everybody can make a movie, says the people who have already made them. Often. Yeah. It's like, you don't want everybody to make the movies. Trust me, that's not what you want. Like, just like you don't want everybody picking up the garbage, or you don't want everybody cooking your dinner at a restaurant. You don't want everybody doing that. You really don't. You want people that know what they're doing, that are qualified. And sometimes your qualifications are wearing a green jacket and knowing everything about special effects.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm so far behind.
Just get yourself a green jacket. You're halfway
Get that green jacket. Yeah. You've mentioned a couple films this reminds you of. It reminds me a little bit of like the Evil Dead guys when they were making their first thing. Yeah. And it's like, I kind of wish Jittlov was, you know, like Sam Raimi isn't kicking out a movie every single year, unfortunately, but the guy fucking directed Spider-Man, and now he's directing the Doctor Strange movie. It's like, can you imagine a Doctor Strange movie directed by Mike Jittlov? Wow.
I want that. Now that you said it, I want it.
Right.
His talent would loan itself to a Doctor Strange.
So, Mike, we've got all this. We've got this giant budget behind you. I just want to do it all on camera.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Just like telling them to go fuck themselves with their with their CGI effects. I'm doing it all in the camera. It's all practical. Like,
now,
we're gonna bring back rotoscoping.
Stand a long time.
Yeah.
So just how about some stretches before we do this scene? All right.
Yeah.
I'm honestly.
Feige's like, I've got all this stuff pre-resed, and he's like, nope.
No. I am surprised that he hasn't worked with Disney again. Because, he worked with Disney very early on. The Magical World of Disney, right? He was the original short that aired.
I think it would have to do with bureaucracy within the system.
Sure. I think many answers are that way.
Yeah, my sis is on the LA side, and she's been doing, like, bits and pieces here and there, just in and out of the rotating door of wherever the fuck Hollywood is hiring, just to do some like animation, character design, stuff like this. And, like, she's fucking burnt out on it, and I don't blame her. That's why I don't go for it. I'll be Jittlov. I'll be in my closet, and if anybody wants to know what I'm working on, I'll wheel it out easily.
I'll wheel it out.
Take it. There you go. I'll hand it out free behind my dumpster. Like, don't worry.
The real question is, does Mike Jittlov still have his Usenet group?
Oh God, is he still a member of the web ring?
The article that mentions his Usenet group was from 2019 or 2016. So there is a substantial chance that Mike Jittlov still runs a Usenet fan group.
Wow. What a darling.
Darling. Like you mentioned, Mike, his website is from another time and place.
And it's hilarious because it's copyright last updated 2003, and he's got a Gmail address, and it's like, okay, you made some very minor updates to this, because otherwise you've got your animated GIFs still going on. You've got like a lot of broken images on there. It's very GeoCities ported over.
I just wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen, black background with like stars moving and lots of neon text.
Oh yeah.
Your
neon
ass.
text.
Yeah. So good.
It's no his website is like a peek inside of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is. You want to go one even further, Mike? How about a Mike Jittlov Dune?
Oh wow. Just give him all the money that Villeneuve had and just have him do the effects.
Yeah, they'd probably be a lot more exciting than the ones we ended up getting in that movie.
That's on my top 10 times. It's just Dune.
Oh my God. Did that actually make people's top 10?
Oh God, yes. Some people love that movie. I'm looking at a guy's list right now where he's like, he wrote something called The Empty Man, which is ironic because it's from 2020, but this is a 2021 list. The Empty Man, he wrote that 6 times, then Titan, or however you say that, Dune, and then The Empty Man is his number 1. Wow. So, like, okay, you love it that much. All right.
Wow. I guess I'm not surprised, but I am disappointed because the Dune that I like has been essentially been called garbage by everybody. So the Dune on Sci-Fi Channel, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
The one with all the hats, as you always like to point out. The film with all the hats, the desert hat film.
Yes.
Desert hat film.
I mean, it's not.
I want a foreign poster of Dune where that's the title of it.
Desert hat film. Maggie, I will say this to you in all honesty. Thank you so much for introducing me to this film.
Hell yeah. I mean, like I said, I am stoked to share these 4 films, barring a few really weird ones that I know no one will enjoy but me, enjoying the fact that everybody's miserable. These 4 have stuck with my life for a reason. These are like my fucking pillars holding my fucking fragile ego up, being like, oh, we got this.
I see the influence. I do.
It's fucking good. That monologue alone, if I only watched that scene of that movie, I would have felt the same exact way about that 2-minute blurb. Like, it's just so heartfelt, so genuine, and it comes from a place that understands just how much you struggle with being a creative person. So to put something out and for it to be a warm enough reception, but still fall by the wayside and still stick with it so hard that it's like, yeah, if somebody's looking for a digital copy, take it. It's there. Just enjoy it. I had fun. Right. I want you to enjoy it. Like, it's so stinking genuine, and it's exactly where I want to be with creating, where it's like, nah, I shouldn't think about like who's seeing it and how many people are seeing it and if it was successful, if I could get an award for a film fest. It's straight up, if you're not enjoying this and if you don't feel that same magic, it's fine. You just need to step away from it. Like,
yeah.
It's just so stinking good. From the point to this. So like we're having existential crisis into hopeful Renaissance, and then you get Wallace and Gromit next.
Well, I remember Mike long ago. I don't remember how many years ago, but it was a fair amount ago. You essentially told me something very similar to the effect of, like, if you're doing this for any reason other than because you love it, don't do it. Right. And, like, I've internalized that because, like, I have talked to other people who are like, well, my views aren't where they want them to be, and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, I don't even... I'm one of those people that doesn't even check my views because it really doesn't matter. To me, I don't care. Like, I'm going to keep doing this until I don't want to do it anymore. And then I will be done. If one person listened to my show or none or 10 or whatever, like, this is because for all of us, it's an outlet. It's a creative outlet. It is.
Yeah. Are we having a good conversation? Yes. Are we enjoying talking to each other? Yes.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Does one of us happen to edit it and release it with the consent of the other two? Yeah.
Oh, super yeah.
Do I have to? No. My personal podcast collection that I listen to at my desk on my own.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
Shit that.
Oh, what can I load up on my phone today?
These are too hot for audio.
Ooh, keeping this for me.
You start a Patreon with just one person that donates, and it's you.
Yeah. But to your point, Maggie, like, this movie does kind of re-energize the creative spirit. And it does make, like you said, it makes me feel like I have a avatar in Mike Jittlov of someone who is a, at times frustrated, at times not, creator who just wants to make something.
Yep. I feel about the same way toward Mike Jittlov as I do to Jim Varney, where it's just like those were my childhood icons, where it's like, if I could be either one of these two gentlemen, please sign me up.
I think I'd want to be Jim Varney.
Be pretty awesome.
Jim Varney is a great actor, and if you don't know his actual work, which I know you guys do, he was not just Ernest.
No. Super creative. Yeah. And it's good of a dramatic actor as a comedic actor.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah. But hey, he made all that Cardin and Cherry money with Ernest, so I don't blame him.
More power to you, man.
Two of those Ernest movies are really good. Ernest Scared Stupid and Ernest Saves Christmas are actually good. And Ernest goes to jail. Yeah, that's fair. But that's the non-holiday one.
Well... Yeah,
that's the good one, but it's just non-holiday is what I'm getting at. The other two, the other two slot themselves into your year to watch them. Ernest goes to prison is kind of, I don't know how many people have seen that one. Well, yeah, fair. But I know
watch it every day.
That's fair. Oh, what's the other one? Ernest Goes to Camp, right? That's the other.
Yeah. Kid me cried during that one because he got punched in the face.
Aww.
So now I have to think about that because my parents never let me live that down.
Now Ernest Goes to Africa. On the other hand,
no,
not a big fan.
Ernest joins the army, also not great. Those are late. Those are gold age.
I will accept Goes to School. That's fine.
Okay.
I
haven't seen it, so I'm not throwing shade.
No, that's fair.
The Ernest movies are strange because they're like the Elvis movies. They're like a commodity film. Like Ernest is a advertising creature who doesn't exist outside of TV ads and movies. So
I'll be frank. I used to rent the actual, like they had a collection. I think it was just called Hey Vern, where it was all of those ads. And I would 100%. Watch that because the ads were hilarious. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, no.
I still watch the Easter one every fucking Easter where he bites the face off of a bunny and then just looks at the camera and it's like, yes.
And he was the original voice of Slinky Dog in Toy Story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget the actor. The actor who they had come in is one of Sandler's buddies. I forget what that actor's name. He plays like the coach, like the weird Cajun coach and Waterboy and a couple other things. But his voice is very similar. But Jim Varney it's
not Stephen Root, is it?
No, it's like his name's like Blake something.
Okay.
He's in like almost all those Adam Sandler movies as like a bit part. It's like him, Alan Covert, and then Peter Dante, I think is the other actor's name. But like, he's one of those like Adam Sandler players.
Yeah, from the troupe. Yeah.
the Happy Madison troupe. Blake Clark is the actor's name.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Jim Varney. I'm a huge fan of people who love what they were doing, regardless of what people said. And and Mike Jittlov is very clearly in that camp. So, yeah. Mike, would you skip it or watch it on The Wizard of Speed and Time?
Oh, watch it, 100%.
Maggie, yourself?
Yeah, watch it and then rewatch it. And at least watch his demo reel if you can't get to any of them. But definitely, if for nothing else, that snazzy freaking song.
Yeah, the song's pretty great.
Yeah.
I mean,
so good.
And I would say if you're going to watch the movie, you should also check out some of the shorts. The shorts, like Maggie mentioned, some shorts are really good. And check out the original short as well, because probably more time and effort went into the original short than go into feature films that were being made at the time. So,
boy.
Yeah. So, let's take a break and we'll play a preview for the next Kulturecast.
The creators of Chicken Run bring you the Academy Award-winning Wallace and Gromit, the cheese-loving inventor.
They're techno trousers.
And his canine best friend.
Cracking toast, Gromit.
Together, Wallace and Gromit star in 3 comedy adventures for the whole family.
What's all this?
A grand day out. A hilarious journey to the moon in pursuit of the perfect cheese.
It's like no cheese I've ever tasted.
The Wrong Trousers, the Academy Award-winning madcap mystery involving a pair of pants and a suspicious penguin.
It's the wrong trousers, Gromit, and they've gone wrong.
And another Academy Award winner, A Close Shave, in which Wallace and Gromit rescue a giant flock of sheep from a diabolical bulldog.
He's malfunctioning.
Mal what?
So look for the perfect video for the entire family. The Incredible Adventures of Wallace and Gromit, featuring all 3 Wallace and Gromit adventures.
Well, this is a fine howdy-do, isn't it, Gromit?
Available on video November 21st.
That's right, on the next Kulturecast, we're going to be talking about Wallace and Gromit, The Wrong Trousers. My first Wallace and Gromit film. I'm looking forward to it. Also, stop-motion animation.
Oh, man. And some fun chase scenes.
You are in for a treat.
I can't wait to watch a stop-motion chase scene and just be like, this is exhausting to watch this.
Dude, you are not prepared. I'm just saying, I watched this so much just for that scene.
Maggie, is this the one with the train?
Yes, this is the train.
Oh, my God.
It's the best.
It's legit. Yeah.
Great villain, great setup. Awesome pants. It's everything you could ask for in a movie.
I'm excited. I have seen Wallace and Gromit shorts while watching Mr. Bean's stuff. So, like, I would see, like, in, like, that kind of mix of 90s British stuff, I would see Mr. Bean and I would see some Wallace and Gromit stuff. But I've never seen feature length. The only thing I've seen is Chicken Run. So...
Which I'm still a little bummed that I didn't do the first one, but the second one holds a bit closer to my heart. Definitely worth a watch. I mean, all 3 of them were wonderful. I think I saw the Were Rabbit. I saw some of the Shaun the Sheep stuff, but really old school Nick Park animations. That's another one of the VHS that was always constantly watched. Anything from Creature Comforts to Not Without My Handbag, and now. Boom, this.
We're going to be joined by our good friend, Mr. Cullen Gallagher, who was just on the episode about The Point. So he's going to be watching some Wallace and Gromit. Wallace and Gromit. Gromis. Yes, Mr. Gromis. Until then, where could people find you, Mr. Mike White? What's going on over at the Projection Booth Podcast?
Well, yeah, you can always find me at the Projection Booth Podcast, which is available, oddly enough, at www.projectionboothpodcast.com. And yeah, this is kind of a grab bag month for us. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff for some reason, focusing on a couple films from 1999. I don't know if you've ever heard of these movies. There's one called Fight Club, and the other one, it's like the Matrix. The Matrix.
Oh,
yeah.
I just watched the Animatrix.
Matrice?
The Matrice. Yeah, the Matrice.
Yeah.
Aren't we talking about the Matrice Resurrections soon?
Yes, we are. I think the day that it comes out, unless it happens to escape, kind of like Dune did. So we'll see what happens.
It's escaped gravity and it's out into the world early. Did they ever explain how that happened?
No,
they
sure didn't.
1080p copy of Dune ended up on the internet without any sort of identifying marks as to who may have leaked it.
Nature has a way.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about what is like in 2 weeks and a half next week. Jesus Christ, it's next week.
Yeah, I don't know when this show is coming out, so I'm going to say the 22nd. Yeah.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, the Matrix Resurrections snuck up on us, folks. So did
Yeah,
the end
sure
of the
did.
year, so.
Yeah, well, all the advertising that they did for The Matrix throughout the entire year. Remember back in the Super Bowl when they did a teaser? Oh, wait, no,
Right.
they didn't.
I remember when they released a teaser a month ago.
Yeah, yeah.
A month before the movie came out.
Something tells me the studio doesn't have a lot of faith in this one.
Strange. I mean, it's not like studios advertise big movies months and or years ahead of time or anything. Spider-Man Far From Home. Cough, cough, cough. A movie that they're still trying to convince everybody isn't what it is, but okay. Like you said, Matrix notwithstanding, maybe they just don't want to advertise. Who knows?
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe it's not good.
We'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah.
And so will every other a-hole on the internet. So we'll just be one more show talking about it.
Right. We're just one more shitty opinion in a universe of shitty opinions.
That's right.
You just happen to listen to our shitty opinion.
Yeah, we'll throw a twist on it. We're good.
Yeah, right. We liked it. Just kidding.
It was a simulation where we got the bad version. Break through. Get the real
We'll just
good
review
version.
a movie that we'll just review the movie we wished we had watched.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
What about you, Maggie? Where can people find you?
Well, I wish Mike Jittlov did my website, but instead I'm stuck with my website, dolinmuseum.com, where I have all my comics, illustrations, puppets, me losing my mind on a perpetual basis. It's a good time. DOLIN museum.com. Oh, and Instagram at Maggie the Odd. That too. Keep forgetting that there's socials.
Well, I don't plug Maggie the Odd on this show. I plug it on the other show every time. So
Fair.
Yeah. As for me, you can find me at cstachiw.com, cstachiw.com. That's my link tree, and that's where all the links are. Mike and I are starting a new podcast after the first of the year, The Shaggy Detective, where we're going to be talking about the one and only wandering-eyed detective, Columbo. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Dude, Columbo, I love.
I'm so excited because I've never seen any Columbo.
Something.
Never seen a single one. So
I'm just going to ask you to not read ahead. So I want your pure, like, I just watched this opinion.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm excited now.
Cool.
I have heard that every day is Columbo Day. I keep this on my desk so that I never forget every day is Columbo Day.
I look at it every day because it's on my fridge.
Oh, there you go.
Score.
Someday it'll migrate down there. Until then, it sits on my desk. And until the next time, Maggie, Mike, thank you so much for joining me. Talking about a movie
Chris.
We had never seen. Two of us.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Welcome to the very small niche group.
Welcome to Maggie's niche group of films you've probably never seen before.
Oh boy, this is like the tip of the iceberg. The niche Maggie movies, it gets deep.
And as always, make sure to catch us on the next episode.